The new Five Nights at Freddy movie finally showed us the animatronics in real life, and now that we can really see how they look compared to regular humans, let's answer the question that none of you ever asked. Could you physically beat up a Five Nights at Freddy animatronic? Now, starting things right off, the first animatronic we're going to talk about is Chica. Now, as you can see in the movie, Chica uses her cupcake weapon a lot, like that's like the main thing, so we're going to dissect how we could physically beat that. The AI further goes on to say, to survive, consider using protective gear, creating barriers, or finding ways to disable the cupcake's biting mechanism. Now, the point that really stood out to me the most here was the last point he made about disabling the cupcake's mechanism, right? And if we really dive into it, the main reason this cupcake is a danger is because of that sharp bite. So if somehow we had a way to keep its mouth shut or just like close that bite off, it would really just be a little floating little yellow ball that we could just kick around. That's really it. So the strategy we could come up with to beat Chica in the FNAF movie would be to ideally have some sort of padding all over your body, which would visually look something like this. As you can see, the padding is what's keeping Chica's little cupcake from clawing into your raw skin. And your offensive weapon would be some sort of big blanket and big duct tape. What you want to do as soon as the muffin jumps at you, you want to realistically like dodge out of the way, take your super big blanket and throw it over the muffin. That is the move right there. And once the muffin is stuck inside the blanket, you basically have already won the fight. There's really nothing else they can do because he's kind of trapped down there. From here, you can take the fight in very different routes. You could either take the blanket, kind of hold him in the blanket, drown him in water because he's a robot, so he would just die right there. And if me and you were fighting Chica's cupcake, I'd give us a survivability of like 8 out of 10 here. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the only reason you could mess this up is if you somehow don't dodge the bite and then it like bites you somewhere like the neck or like somewhere like crucial and then you just bleed out, you know? But as long as you can just get that first initial dodge, you have a really big blanket, so I'm sure you'll just get the blanket over it and then you win, you know? Like, I'm sure you could probably win this fight. Now, moving on to our baby boy Foxy, luckily for us, he doesn't have any special gadgets like Chica had the cupcake. He doesn't have any of that. It's really just him. After like really sitting down, guys, I really sat down and really thought hard, and I think I found a really solid weak point. Foxy's claw. To many of you guys watching right here, you guys might see the claw as a super dangerous weapon that could hook onto your flesh, reel you in, poke your eye out, slash your eye, pull you in, all of that, you know? But me, on the other hand, I see this as the biggest opportunity for you to win the physical fight. The main thing you want to do is be able to grab a hold and grab control of your enemy, you know what I mean? The easier you can get control of them, the more you'll have control of the overall fight. You can drag them here, you can push them here, you can kind of make the fight your fight. Here's where the claw comes into play. If I was fighting a regular human, it's way harder for me to grab a hold of the guy's fists, right? But think about how easy it is for you to grab a hold of a claw. Oh, shit! That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is how we win against Foxy. So as you can see, thanks to my beautiful drawing, the way you'd win this one is you'd want to have some protective gloves with you, right? Just because I'm sure the claw itself is very sharp, so you don't want to grab it and then cut yourself. So you'd want to have some really durable gloves in your hand. You'd want to pull on the claw, and you'd want to drag that little fox down to the floor. Ready? Huh? Boom! Pretend like the Foxy's right there, right? Like pretend you're the Foxy. You want to reach like this, like, right there. Grab that Foxy, grab that, and then boom! Like this. Pretend Foxy's coming at you. You want to like pull up to this. Yeet! See that grab right there? Watch the grab. Yeet! Grab it quick. You gotta be quick. Grab it. Boom! You gotta be strong, obviously. I don't know if I have like... Just pretend, okay? We're doing hypotheticals. You wanna be like, hey, what up, Foxy? Yeet! Grab with your metal gloves. Pull down. You don't want to pull him in because if you pull him in, right, at the end of the day, he is a metal fox with really sharp teeth. He could probably just bite you and kill you. You don't want to be short range with him. You want to pull him down to the floor like that. And once he's kind of on the floor, thanks to you being able to pull him down, you can kind of really do whatever you want with him as long as you're not being dumb. You can kick him from far range. You could use other surrounding objects to bash him while he's on the floor. You could kind of like sit on him if that's like how you're feeling. Maybe you're feeling a little flirty. Now the survivability chances I'd give this one would be actually a little bit lower. I'd give this one 7 out of 10, just because like that first move I showed you guys of like reaching for the claw, so much could go wrong right there, you know, right? I missed the reach, my hand slips, I'm face to face with him for a second now, right? He goes, ow! I'm dead. I'm literally dead. That's it. Which is why it gave this a little bit of a lower survivability. But, ladies and gentlemen, I believe in you. I believe in us. I think we could do this. I think we could pull it off. I need a life, bro. What am I doing? Anyways, now let's address Freddy Fazbear. This man is literally the tank of the group. Standing at a solid overweight 6 foot something, me at 5'10", it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge for me, I'm not gonna lie. So I really had to sit myself down on this chair right here, literally sat down. I thought for a solid couple hours how I could beat this man. I thought I could maybe buy a semi-automatic shotgun, pull up on him, shoot him in the face, and then I realized I can't, that's not part of the challenge. I gotta use like minimal things, right? So I went even a step lower. I thought maybe I could pull out a knife and then slash him up like I'm literally the yellow rabbit. And then I thought, maybe let's make it even harder for myself. Let's go even more minimal. What if I used rope? Now I know in a normal face-to-face, it just wouldn't work against him. He is just so much size, he would literally just one pump me in the face. It wouldn't work. Even my AI at this point was starting to like get a little scared. Maybe it would just think some stupid stuff. Get him in like a joint lock, get him in a headlock or something, get him in a bar lock. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is like 6'3" of raw metal. I don't think that would work, sweetheart. I'm not gonna lie. This is not human. But ladies and gentlemen, since this thing is overweight, we must use this overweight fatness against him, which is exactly where the rope comes in. What if take him on a really fast chase, right? Imagine I like poke him a little bit, I go on a little bit like a, you know, come catch me. I go on a run, we start running really fast, he starts chasing after me, I turn a tight corner, I jump over the little tight rope I have on the floor, but he does not make the jump because he's fat. Think about it, he's a little bit fat. If you guys watch the movie, his legs don't really come that high off the floor, so he's gonna be chasing me like this. He turns the corner, he doesn't see the ground, he trips over the tight rope, and all that fat mass of a body comes tumbling, crashing on itself. Boom! Come on, baby! Come on! All this fat robotic titanium would just crash on itself and break down. And think about it, it's a robot, so all the infrastructure, all the tech would just crash in itself. Oh, it would be beautiful. It would be beautiful. Literally, at that point, the fight is yours. You win the fight. I'm not gonna lie, I'd give this one a survivability of 8.7 out of 10. This one is easily the most survivable. As long as you watching are not like some slowpoke that can't dodge a fat, overweight bear, then you should be fast enough to run away, cut the corner, and at that point you win. That's it. Just don't trip over the rope yourself. Anyways, if you search a Bonnie FNAF movie or just search a Bonnie, every singular picture is Bonnie with a guitar. Every single picture. So to keep this fun for ourselves, we're gonna assume that Bonnie this time has her guitar on her. And ladies and gentlemen, I hate to break it, but this might be the hardest fight to win out of every other animatronic. Because to put it quite simply, there literally isn't anything to take advantage of. Bonnie isn't an overweight bear. Bonnie doesn't have a white cloud we can grab and pull down. There isn't many like opportunities you can really look at. And it's actually crazy because at this point, even ChatGPT itself got scared of the animatronics or something because it would stop answering my questions. Literally, it stopped answering me and it said, in this case, you should use self-defense and you should run away. You shouldn't engage in physical fight. Like, it wasn't even telling me stuff anymore. So like any other lazy kid would do, I just paid for ChatGPT 4. I just paid for the ChatGPT Plus. And I knew after unlocking it, I would finally unlock the deep, real secret answers on how to beat Bonnie. So after countless hours of begging ChatGPT for some secret, deeper, random points that could maybe help me out, this random point right here hit me. I could use the guitar itself that Bonnie would be wielding against himself. Entangle him within it. And after further prying the AI, it gave me a nice little picture right here that would give me the exact answer I needed. As you can see, the beginning of the picture kind of had a clue to what we're supposed to do, but then the rest of it kind of just fizzled out into some random AI garbage. The picture starts off with the suited man building a really tall metal pole and sort of like jamming it between the guitar and the arm. And that's exactly what we would be doing. You'd have to first grab a metal pole, which is very easy to find in an arcade. The lines themselves are created with little metal barriers. They're like metal rods and stuff that connect the lines, right? So all you'd have to do is pull one of those metal rods off and now you have your equipment right there. The next thing you'd have to do, as you can see in this visual, you'd have to take the metal rod, you'd have to stick it in between Bonnie's arm and then the drawstring. The metal rod would go in the back of his arm, so through the back side of his arm, but the front of the string of the guitar, so then when he tries to move his arm, it would get caught between the metal rod and the guitar. Oh my god. You want to be even more strategical, since it's blocking his little right side right here, the best place to go would be attack on the right side, because if I go on the right side, he can't move his arm down to swing at me. You get it? Because the rod is right there. You get what I'm saying? And then from there, it's over. Start bashing his head, bash his body, bash his butt, bash everything about him, bro. But you finally have that little split second you were hoping. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I do think I'm a genius for this plan right here, and I do think it would definitely work, in real life it's definitely practical, I definitely give the survivability of this one like a 5-6 out of 10. Just because the move I showed you guys of putting the metal rod in, it's so precise. And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't win, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. Get it? Because like that would mean you died, right? So like I'm doing the outro of like you dying and then of Matt Pat's outro. Get it or no? Do you guys get it or no?